there's design, and there's construction. So and this is probably true even in a private sector context, but when you talk about it in government, you have to add time because you have to get the money appropriated, then you have to get it released, then you have to procure the contractor, right? So, and generally your planning and design phases are not as expensive as your construction phases. So planning, design, construction. And then when you're dealing with developing land, you have off-site issues, so that's water, wastewater, roads, drainage, finding wells, etc. And then you have on-site, actually getting the project ready. So you have the roads, water, sewer, communication, getting the lot ready so it's ready to build for the homesteader. Once that lot is ready, that's our kuleana. Then for the beneficiary, their kuleana is to either build the home if it's residential, purchase the home if it's offered by DHHL with a contractor, use the land if it's an ag or pastoral lot, and most importantly, pay your loans. So if we were to start today, the program today, right? Planning, design, construction, assuming you don't have off-site issues, the fastest you can get a lot out a door is about 6 years. It's more like 10 because you have delays, you have issues that come up that you don't anticipate, you know. So if you were to walk in the door, like if we started today, the lot's not gonna be ready until 10 years from now, and that assumes you're at the top of the list. The second thing that happens is that you know, people get on the list because they're excited they want to buy, but the people that are ready to buy or want to get into a 30-year mortgage are at the bottom of the list. And so we have to go through everybody at the top before you get to the person who might be ready to buy. So the thing that happens with the list is that some people, like if you've been on the list, especially a residential list from the 1970s or 60s, I'm pretty sure you've been offered a lot, probably in the double digits. And there's a whole host of reasons why people don't take awards. Number one, they don't want to live on that side of the island. Number two, financially they're just not ready. You know, number three, they're actually waiting to retire, they're going to give it to their kids or whatever. So on the development side, this mismatch between the list and getting lots, you know, it's a real challenge for Hawaiian homes. Now, on the pastoral side, it's true, we haven't done as many awards because the priority has been residential. On the ag side, we haven't done as many awards because we didn't have the Subsistence Ag program, but now we do. So hopefully we'll see more of that. But I did want to sensitize you to the fact that development takes time. The next thing, and this is a little, and I apologize that this is a little small, but this is just one slide that we shared with the Office of Hawaiian Affairs because they actually are in partnership with us where they're paying our debt service for a $45 million bond that we floated back under Micah's administration. And this is just one of the islands in which their money was deployed. But what I wanted to, if you look, it's just to give you an idea of the, number one, what it takes to develop, and number two, the cost. So I'm gonna just read some of the items on there, not all of them, but like with just East Kapolei, okay, so we have, just with these Oahu projects that we funded with the bond proceeds, we did a 4 million gallon reservoir, access roads and transmission mains that's off-site, that's all water. That cost us $11.2 million, for which the bond paid for $5.5 million. The Kapolei Parkway extension, which again is off-site, not on the lot, it cost us $5.4 million. That's probably not the whole cost, it's probably just for this portion of it. And then you actually get to developing, let's say, Kanahili, which is East Kapolei, 403 lots. We used $10.9 million from the bond, $34.4 million that was expended, plus another $925,000. Total cost was $35 million, just from when this was done, which was 2017, okay? So just for Oahu, the bond covered 20.9 million, but all in is $134 million, just for Oahu. So it takes time and it costs a lot of money to do this development. Next slide. So when I talk about what that means, I'm just going to talk about, just so that you can visually see it. This is Waimanalo residential. Some of you may, we just finished the one on the, it's actually two parts. KUMUHAU, which is lots that were done. I think we did the last set of homesteads there in like 2012, 2013, and then KAKAINA, which is here on the bottom, and we just did that with Armstrong, turnkey, as well as we have some habitat developer habitat homes in there. So that, to give you an idea of what it looks like when we talk about getting lots ready. Next slide. Next slide. You know, we start, this is what the on-site construction work looks like, and then next slide. This is, you know, more of that kind of work, and then this is what it looks like when it's ready to be awarded, right? So that's not even getting to the home, building the home. So it's a lot of money, and it takes time. So the key is the pipeline has to be primed, because what comes out today was put in the pipeline 10 years ago. And so in order for us to keep the pipeline primed so that you as someone on the waiting list or whatever can make decisions with some level of certitude, you know, certainty, is we need funding. So I'm gonna go through just kind of, so these projects take time, so I'm just gonna kind of give you a quick overview of what's in the pipeline, so that if that's a project and you're on the list or your family's on the list or whatever, you know where we're developing, okay? So, next slide. This is all lot development. Waianae Valley, Increment 4, this is in the back of Waianae. Next slide. The former Voice of America site, if you're familiar with Kapua, the KS Kapua property, or Uluke Kukui. Oh, next slide. Uluke Kukui, see there's like a little cutout over there? That's Uluke Kukui. This, on the bottom, the blue and the green, is the Kapua, Kamemes Kapua project, and Mauka of the, on top of that is where we're looking to develop lots and homesteads, and that's actually in Maili. Next slide. This just gives you an idea of some of the work that we're doing that's related, like some of the off-site work. So we're doing this Waianae Coast Emergency Access. These are all the various routes for that. And then East Kapolei. So this is before. This is what it looked like before. Next slide. This is what it looks like now. So Kanahili, we're going to be awarding lots probably in the next year, about 37 lots now that the wall is in. You may be familiar with Makanali'i. Across the street where it says Ka'uluokahai, if you see right on the bottom, you can just barely see it says Increment 2A. That is going to be going out for transit-oriented development. We're going to be looking for a developer to assist us with increasing density, so probably multifamily townhouses with mixed retail commercial. We don't know yet whether that's going to be rental or condo. And then above that, Increment 2B is actually where we're doing the awards. We just finished with Gentry 100 turnkey. We'll probably be doing another 60 next year, vacant lot. And then Increment 2C is the design is done. We're going to be moving towards construction. So a lot happening in Kapolei. Next slide. Waimanalo, we just got money to do some of the planning work for Waimanalo. It's up near the top of the screen. We're going to be starting with those projects, just working on the design for now. It'll likely be either subsistence ag or residential. And that main, you see Waimanalo Park, it's right in the back of where our existing, the existing homestead community is. Next slide. Okay, Kula. This is upcountry Maui, Waiahuli. So the yellow is the existing residence lot. If you're familiar with if you've been up there, Waiahuli is, those are like acre, beautiful homesteads. The green is Kapaakea, and the blue is where we're developing. Next slide. So the residential lots there, this is the phasing for it. Just to give you an idea, we've completed phase 1A, we're moving into 1B, 47 lots, and then phase 2, we just got money from the legislature to do that work in upcountry Waiahuli, Maui. Honokauai, that is gonna be, that's West Maui. We're looking at doing subsistence ag lots out there, so we're starting the planning work for that. We're negotiating with the county to get water for this project as we move forward. Next slide. Pulehunui, this is one of the first times, this is central Maui where the neck is. This is one of the first times that we are doing a project sort of as a master developer. So we're laying in the wastewater, and that will open up both commercial for income production on the bottom, but more importantly, ag lots, or the opportunity for some ag for beneficiaries. Next slide. Ho'olehua, as I mentioned, first time we're doing scattered lots. We haven't gotten money from the legislature in a long, long time. So these are lots that we're taking back and we'll be probably subdividing and awarding back out. And then Naiva, which is homesteads that have been held for a long time, we have not been able to put the infrastructure in. Next slide. The Molokai water system are improvements that we're making it's about costing us between $20 and $30 million to improve the water system, for which USDA is providing a portion of that cost. Next slide. Villages of La'iopua, this is Kona. So Kona, actually, where we are, you'll see Kealakehe High School on the bottom. And then to the left is Village 5. We have lots remaining there, as well as Village 4, 118 lots. We've been in negotiations, which are almost complete, to do for those two projects a rent with option to purchase. Developer agreement is almost complete in terms of negotiation. Next slide. Panaewa, subsistence ag. This is a 10-acre lot that we took back. We're looking at doing, for now we're looking at 16 half-acre subsistence ag in the midst of Panaewa, and we're still working on the issues with the county on that. Next slide. Kaumana, these are some of the scattered lots up in Hilo. Next slide. And then Honomu, as I'd suggested, first time that we're doing a master plan like this in terms of our subsistence ag program. So I keep saying subsistence ag, subsistence ag, subsistence ag. Well, what is that? That's a homestead that's less than 3 acres. You can reside on it, you're not required. The infrastructure is more like a rural standard than the Cadillac infrastructure of a residential lot. And all that you're required to do is to utilize it. Just use it, grow food, for your family. That's pretty much all you have to do. Just use the lot. So we're looking at doing our first, either Panaewa or Honomu. Both are in the pipe to do this award that we've never done before, the subsistence ag. Next slide. And then Kaui, first time we've gotten money in a long time to improve the water, to get water down to our homesteads in Kaui. Pi'ilani mai ke kai, this is Anahola. We've done phase 1. Phase 2 is also complete, ready for award, likely next year. Next slide. And then Hanapepe, we just got money for Hanapepe to do starting the design work on the west side of Kauai. Next slide. Okay. I'm just gonna skip through these because these are just to give you a feel for the other kind of work that we do, which is our repair and maintenance. We have Anahola Dam and the reservoir that we need to improve. Next slide. The farm lots water system. Next slide. That's the tank. Ho'olehua, the water system as well, the tank remediation. Next slide. The Papakolea slope remediation. Now, all of this remediation work doesn't put anybody on the homestead. It just takes care of the existing infrastructure that goes on. And I kind of just want to give you a feel for all that's coming down and through the pipeline, but also the breadth of issues that we have to deal with when we're at Hawaiian Homes. Next slide. So this is Papakolea, the sewer improvements, and then rockfall mitigation in Waimanalo, Kapaakea flood mitigation in Molokai,